Many people around the world dream of returning to the home of their ancestors, the British Isles. At the age of 45, I fulfilled a lifelong ambition and bought my dream home in the Scottish Highlands. My name's Jason, and I live in the far north of Scotland. This is my story. Welcome to the American Highlander. Good morning from the Scottish Highlands. It's another absolutely beautiful day up here. It's about 9 degrees, mid-October. Stunning autumn foliage. And season really has turned, and it is gorgeous out here. It's one thing to see it in videos. It's another thing to see it in person. And I highly encourage you, if you've never experienced autumn in the Highlands, yeah, you should. You really should. It's truly magical. So, today's episode, we've got some more sightseeing planned. We're going to be taking a look at Pictish artifacts, which is really cool. But before we get into that, we've also got a really genuinely exciting announcement. We've got our first paid sponsor. I know that sounds backwards, like, yay, we get to sit through ads. Keep in mind, this channel does cost me quite a bit of money per month to run. And, I've already got this stonking huge mortgage I'm going to be paying off until I'm literally a senior citizen. So, yeah, sponsorship money does make a difference. But also, remember my promise to you. I will only allow sponsors onto this channel if they're paying, if it's a product or service that I personally believe in and actually use and would recommend to you because I think you would actually benefit from it. That does mean that there's actually a fair number of sponsors that I can't work with and won't work with, but that's my red line. Because when you watch your favorite YouTubers and they go into presenter mode and it's like, it's Agent Orange for villages. Are you suffering from too many people and need to change the numbers quickly? Use Agent Orange. And you're just looking at them and you're like, you can see that they don't believe in what they're saying. And then you just fast forward past the ad segment and, it's kind of worthless. That's what I'm never going to do on this channel. There was a sponsor that approached us offering eyebrow-arching money, but I don't believe in them. And I don't believe that they would in any way benefit you. So as a result, no. Just no. So our first paid sponsor that I'm allowing on this channel is a service that I do genuinely recommend. You should check them out. It's called Surfshark. It's a VPN. Now, anyone under the age of 40, they're already using VPNs. But according to YouTube, my audience is predominantly my age and up. So we're talking about a lot of Gen X, boomers, silent generation. And it's kind of an interesting situation because if you're in that cohort, typically you're a little less technologically savvy, and you, on average, have more disposable income and more assets. And that combination makes you more of a target online. So, give you an example. You're at a cafe or a hotel or a restaurant or what have you, and you hop onto the public Wi-Fi with your phone, your laptop, something like that. Well, the moment you do that, anyone else on that public Wi-Fi can instantly, if they have the right tools, it's pretty astonishing what they can find out about you. All the accounts that you're logged into and session IDs and a bunch of stuff that might sound like internet jargon, but we are talking about identity theft here and people getting access to stuff that you really don't want anyone else to access. That's where a VPN comes in. Is it masks your identity online. It obfuscates you making it much, much, much harder for someone to reconstruct your identity at the end of the data chain. And that really does make a huge difference. So, again, if you're not using a VPN already, yeah, you really should be at this point. I mean, it was recently disclosed that over half of all internet activity is now artificial, and something like a third of that is malicious. So we're at the point now, and frankly we have been for a while, where using a VPN when you go online is, yeah, it's kind of a matter of course. The other interesting benefit to a VPN, again, I'm not going to go into all the brand ambassador talking points, blah, blah, blah. You're a grown adult. If you're interested, you'll find out more for yourself. The other big selling point that I do want to call your attention to with a VPN, beyond just identity protection and masking your identity online, is getting access to content that might be geo-blocked. So you're traveling, you're in a different country, you want to stream your favorite TV show, for instance, but you might be in a country where it's restricted for whatever reason. So you go online with your VPN, you change the country that the internet thinks you're coming in from, and all of a sudden you have access to content that wasn't available. Give you a personal example. About 6 years ago, I was on tour in China, and in order to get anything beyond the Great Firewall, you literally have to use a VPN to get information about the outside world from sites that aren't state-sponsored. So, like I said, this is something that I use myself. And Surfshark is 24/7 customer service, and also really well-designed UIs. They're very easy to use, but they also have a whole bunch of other services and products in their lineup. One of the ones that I find particularly interesting is their antivirus software. So I'll put a QR code and a promo link on the screen. So if you use that, you get an extra 4 months. And you also get a 30-day, money-back guarantee if something goes wrong for whatever reason. But yeah, I do actually recommend Surfshark to you, because legitimately, if you're not using a VPN, get started. This is your identity that we're talking about. You want to protect it. And yeah, check it out for yourself. I do recommend it. So, with all that preamble out of the way, let's go do some sightseeing. Welcome to Portmahomack. This is the only town on the east coast of northern Scotland that faces west. Kind of a cool trivia tidbit. You can watch the sunset from here. But what's really got my attention are the archaeological treasures inside the building behind me. That is the Tarbat Discovery Center. Let's go check it out. This was my first time visiting the Tarbat Peninsula. It's located in East Ross, here in the northern Scottish Highlands. What's interesting about this peninsula is it's very notable for its early Christian history and Pictish heritage. The village of Portmahomack is home to the Tarbat Discovery Center, which showcases archaeological findings from the area. Excavations in the 1990s revealed a major Pictish monastic settlement from the 6th through 8th centuries, as well as evidence of metalworking, manuscript production, and Christian worship. This was one of the first confirmed Pictish monasteries in Scotland, showing that the Picts were part of the broader Christian and cultural world of early medieval Europe. My guide for today's adventure was Willie, and I quickly discovered Willie is an absolute wellspring of knowledge. So, without further ado, let's turn it over to him.
The Picts only come into history when the Romans invade England.
Okay.
And then they move up and they come into Scotland. And they get attacked by people that are tattooed and painted, and they christen them the Picti, the painted people.
Gotcha.
So that's where they come into history. They come into history about 100 AD and they disappear about 850 AD. The Picts are like the North American Indian. You've got a carving on a totem pole in America, and it has to be handed down through the generations, the story. You look at that carving and you know the story.
Right.
The Picts did exactly the same on sandstone. So their carvings like these carvings will tell a story. This area here, as I say, this is what they call the treasury, where they keep the stones that we have. Here is an original stone. This one was found in the dig. This is an original stone. We call this the boar stone. So here's a boar here. There's a lion here, a tail coming through the legs. They think it's a lion because of that. So that's an original stone. You've got the crosses around here. They're all original. This is the one that's the excitement. This is obviously the dragon stone. And this was found in the crypt. It was used in the wall of the crypt. And this is the only Pictish stone in Scotland that has Latin writing on it. And the writing is here, around the corner here. And we'll come back to this because this is very important, this writing. We'll come back to it. I'll show you the other bits first. They call this the Apostle Stone because we've got 3 apostles here. We should have 12, obviously. We've got a couple of lions eating a deer and a bear here. Now we believe that we've got James holding a book. First man's holding a book. We think we might have the oldest photo of St Andrew because St Andrew's always shown with loads of hair, and they think the next one is Peter. So that's the 3 apostles we seem to have, so we're told anyway. The dark vellum they found is the same vellum as the Book of Kells. The Book of Kells is a dark vellum. The scrapers used in the Book of Kells are the same as that. They're fairly certain that the vellum for the Book of Kells came from here. The other thing about the Book of Kells is that this inscription here, that carving there, is in the Book of Kells. And that is the only stone in Scotland that has that inscription. So whoever's done the Book of Kells has been here to see that. We've just had a book by Professor Victoria Whitworth, who has looked at the Book of Kells, the lettering for the Book of Kells, and she's been to Lindisfarne, all over Ireland, Iona, and the only place she can find the lettering that's the same as the Book of Kells is this stone we looked at earlier. That lettering there is the same as the Book of Kells. So she's fairly confident that the whole thing was done here. A man called Thomas Keyes, and he's doing vellum as they would have done in the old days. The only difference is he's using roadkill deerskin instead of calfskin. So, but everything is done exactly as they would have done in the old days. The making of the vellum. It's calfskin, calf is killed and then it's stretched. Every day they would turn these wooden pegs, although it's wood in this ones. The originals would have been bone, feet from the cattle. They would use bone because bone doesn't get bigger with bad weather or smaller with a bad weather, good weather. So, but that's an example of what that's a hearse. Above there, he's making the inks. One of them needs horse manure. You can see a big lump of lead in another one, a big lump of copper in another one. That's to get them the colours. We'll go down into the crypt. This is original ground level from 565. So this was the original monastery. This was the level it was at. The sand blows here, so it builds and builds. So this is 565. The wall here, up until about here, is the original wall of the monastery from 565. You had the Mackays from Sutherland attacking the Rosses, coming to steal the cattle, and the Rosses doing likewise. And what happened was the Mackays came over to attack, steal the cattle. Rosses spotted them, chased them into this church, and the Mackays said, "Sanctuary, we're in a church." And the Rosses said, "We don't do that. We don't do that." So they chased them down into here. If you try to get down here with people with swords on, you'll see that you get your ankles chopped off from the steps behind you. So what the Rosses did was they got every whin bush and gorse bush and tree they had, and they rolled them down here, and then they set it all alight. So the Mackays were burnt to death down here. The other interesting thing here, which nobody, as far as I know, has done anything about, is we have this stone here.
Oh yeah.
So it's hollow behind that, but they never took anything out of it to see what was behind it. But it's nice and hollow in there. We don't know what's behind that.
This is one of the coolest things that I have seen since moving up here. You gotta come see this for yourself. Remember what we talked about in a prior episode. If you never set foot off the NC 500, you'll never see this. Take the extra time, especially here on the East Coast. There's a lot to see, a lot of history here, a lot of ties to a past that shouldn't be forgotten. Come here and see it for yourself. So, a lot of you have asked about Annabelle's story, so I figured I'd share it here. Annabelle is a purebred rag doll. She's currently 7 years old. We don't know that much about her past, but we do know that she was being raised by breeders. I don't like breeders. And it got to the point where she ran away from home. Now, it takes a lot to get a cat to leave a place of warmth, shelter, food. And she was out on the streets on her own for months. And she managed to survive, God only knows how. When she was finally trapped and rescued by the SSPCA, her previous owners were notified and they said, keep her. One of her teeth had rotted all the way down to the pulp, had to be removed. fur was a matted mess. She was cleaned up, treated, spayed. And my wife and I have been talking about getting a cat for a while. My wife saw Annabelle on the website for the SSPCA in Aberdeenshire and went, her, now, let's go. I don't actually want to know more about Annabelle's past because, frankly, it'll just get me angry. Annabelle's been with us for a few months now, and I'm not sure how much I can say here. She clearly exhibits behavior of a cat that had been mistreated. I think that's all I'm going to say on the subject, because I really don't want to get angry here. But that's all past tense now. She's in a loving home. She bosses my wife and I around. And she'll never be outside in the cold again. She's our baby. Right. I think that's enough of that. Let's get back to the sightseeing, shall we? The older I get, the more I realize it really is about the simple truths. Do you wake up every day enjoying your existence? And if not, what are you going to do about it? It's not really an additive process, it's a subtractive process. You start stripping away anything extraneous. There's someone in your life who's negative, get rid of them. If you're in a place that crushes your soul, move. Do whatever you have to. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying you have to do it. Like peeling layers off an onion. Once you get rid of everything that you're not, you get to the point. And the point is to enjoy it. To enjoy this, whatever this is. And looking at those gravestones today, it's a reminder that money, power, fame, all of it, none of it goes with you. And nobody remembers you. So you might as well do what you want to do with whatever time you have left. It took me half a lifetime to earn the other half of this life. And it is worth it. It was worth all of it. Wherever you are on your own journey, stay the course. You'll get there. You will.